So I'm really fucking tired, but I want to record a video about the fact that I haven't been able to record videos. Now, not because I have not actually recorded videos, but because the videos which I have recorded have not managed to be saved because on this archaic, terrible machine that I am using, which happens to be a ThinkPad T400 from 2008, it is very unstable, doesn't like to do things, and has some particular issues with my microphone and possibly with me. And so, as a result, there have been well over 2 hours of footage lost. There has been well over 2 hours of footage lost. And that's not good. But, namely because a lot of the videos I was recording were like some of the best videos I've done, man. I did a 38-minute video about my political ideology, the philosophy and ethics which are act as guiding principles behind the policies I believe in, how I think those policies could be implemented, and the society of the future that I would like to see in my dreams, and why. But it was about so much more than just that. Video's gone. Video is gone in the dustbins of history. And now I'm attempting to fly to you like a phoenix rising from the ashes to make content yet again. But it's difficult, right? Because, not because I don't like doing this, not because I have some issue. Obviously very easy for me, as you can tell. Just look at how many fucking videos are on my channel. Oh, I said I wouldn't swear. I've been trying to make age-appropriate content for you guys, so I said that I would not swear. I managed to not follow through on that and bring the goods this time around. But, this computer's been giving me issues. So I recorded this 38 some odd minute video. It's just gone. It's literally just gone. Well, I can't say as though I did not try. Try and figure out. Still need to cut the back part of my hair. I try to figure out a hairstyle that works for me, and what I want to do on that front. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out, man. How are you all doing? Wherever you live. I smile whenever your face is up in the source, okay? Drugs are bad, okay? That's gonna be the subject of my next video. I know I already talked about why you should never try drugs, but I want to talk about it again in more detail. And moreover, I want to become like that guy that has to go to your school to talk about why drugs are bad, because like literally I am in the most, how would you say this, alternative state of mind that I could possibly be in, and literally all that happened was I didn't sleep at I almost said the name time, the same time as normal, at a normal time. So I'm several hours deep into this sleep deprivation thing, and I'm finding myself dancing linguistically, kind of moving all about all over the place, and cognitively very wavy, kind of sleepy like state of mind, like when I feel right now like how I envision Kanye feeling in the moments leading up to him posting that tweet on that fateful day in 2022 where he said, "I'm a bit sleepy at night and well, you can infer the rest if you were there and know what's up. But I almost feel kind of like that. Like I got that kind of thing going on. Not quite. I don't think I would want to have exactly that thing going on. But we're teetering on the edge now. So I need to get to the fuck to sleep soon, man. I need to get level, get with it. But I love this, you know. It's like this bizarre state of mind you can enter, and I haven't entered it in so long, right? You know, I'm used to either being good, just being able to sleep, or like I'll get the sleep deprivation, but it's not like fun like this, you know. But it's like, you think about it, it's like sleep deprivation's like a free drug without a lot of consequences. I mean, I guess there's some consequences. You still gotta fucking sleep if you want to avoid stroke, heart disease, depression, anxiety, lots of issues, whole host of issues, really. You think about it, but it'd be kind of fun also. But yo, my hair does this thing. Either what I could do is like put some shit in it to like get it to stay still, or probably what I finna do is just cut off the parts, because you see, like, they do this, it does this thing where it like sticks out in the back. It looks weird. It looks weird to me, at least. So what I'm gonna try to do is like figure out, talk to a barber, get like whatever haircut that works for me type shit. I don't know what really that is, but I finna find out, you know what I'm saying? But what the fuck was I talking about? Yo, you like my shirt? It's Psy. It's the Japanese black metal band that was part of the first kind of wave of black metal. I'm not talking about the proto black metal shit, not talking about Merciful Fate and all that. I'm talking about the Norwegian scene with Varg and Dead, otherwise known with Euronymous, all these people, okay? Talking about them. You had the band Psy from Japan, which was signed to this label. They were signed. They were signed to the label, okay? And they were in that kind of strange situation. Infant attachment and the strange situation. That's what they were experiencing. And what was I talking about? I don't remember, man. That's what I'm saying. I get sleepy at night. And it's like, things go crazy after a while. Like, just nuts. Man, what was I it's like, that's crazy. I don't even remember that shit. What I was talking about. That, I don't know. There's been hail and snow all day too. That, I've been listening to that tap up against my window. But it's like, you know, you see a nice looking tranny and then you're ready to tap that ass. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like all women are just beautiful. It's like all women, they come from this beautiful source energy, and it's like they were, you know, they were built, structured in such a way as to like elicit this response from me, this response of appreciation. And me and so many other people, you know, some people, they start out as women, but others, you know, they become. And in a way, it's like they actually have to be more feminine in order to meet the standards of femininity set by society and set for them, which is cruel, by the way. Like, you know, maybe they should lay off a little bit on just how strict it is, not go totally crazy all the way in the other direction, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Trans misogyny is bad. Misogyny in general is bad, if you think about it. I mean, I know I'm It's kind of a radical position in today's day and age, but what can I say? On some issues, I have to buck orthodoxy. But I will say this, I will leave you with these words of resilience from me, the actual most oppressed individual in the entire world. I'll leave you with these words of resilience. In the face of any kind of repression or oppression, we are endowed, perhaps not by God, but by the force of the universe, the world, the ability to make a choice, to make choices, to do things. And in so doing, we can change not just our environment, but ourselves. And if you think about it, trans people make the biggest kind of change that a person can make. It's a big deal. It's a thing that many people, not me, but a lot of people would be very afraid to do. And you can understand why. You know, not everybody fails to care whatsoever about societal expectations the way that some of us might. Not everybody has a supportive environment or safe country, place, etc. And so what you basically see is a world very hostile to a certain group of people. And then those people rise above their environment and said conditions to, in the ultimate confirmation of their identity, live as themselves. An identity which serves to directly rebel against the establishment, both in the form of gender norms, that being our hegemonic perspective on gender, and also the established sensibilities, demeanor, etiquette, things that are expected of a person by individuals, those individuals who happen to make up the broader social class which you may be a part of. You're rebelling against them as well. So it's the ultimate fuck you to the system in some ways. And I see that, I recognize that, but I also think that there are people that otherwise really would not be trans at all, and there are also people who probably don't even like being that identity right now. Now, I'm not even saying it's a lot. It's just like a couple people. I've met these people, talked to them, saw something was wrong, something was up, but you know, they do it as a kind of political uniform because they correctly identify how radical of a change it is to make, how radical of a thing it is to do, and they view that in the context of their kind of left-wing internet community or their punk rock music circle. They think, I'm going to do this. You know, I'm going to do this now because this will net me social capital that I can spend in these circles through the form of like oppression points and things like. I know it's a really cringe way of describing it because of the associations with the right wing, but I mean there is absolutely like a deference in these spaces to people who have who experience some sort of systemic oppression. And I mean, I do it as well. In a way, you can't help but do it, right? Because like you're trying to be just a nice guy, and also you have a systemic understanding of the world that we live in. So, but also, I think it's up to us to you know, look a gifted horse in the mouth and correctly identify what's going on, you know, with this dynamic. Like, sometimes people abuse their position in these groups. Sometimes people lie about who they are. Sometimes people are dishonest, right? And so And when I think about the fact that there are absolutely people who use their gender identity merely as a uniform so that they won't be ignored, uh, I think maybe they shouldn't detransition, maybe they shouldn't change. They can do whatever they want. It's their body, it's their choice. If they feel like it's the best decision for them, go ahead. But I think we should be introspective about it. And that is the point I'm making with this video. We should be introspective about these things. Because I'm about as pro-trans as you can get. I am about as progressive as you can get on the vast majority of issues. Not totally crazy out there on certain things. I still care about practicality and reasonability and civility and non-violence and these sorts of things. Being able to have a civil discourse and resolve issues like adults and resolve things within the confines of the democratic system in order to improve and perpetuate said democratic system. But be that as it may, I also believe in tackling these sorts of discussions head on, asking the difficult questions. In fact, I believe that is a essential component of having a tolerant democratic society. But it's stigmatized in circles which purport themselves to be vanguards of civil society and tolerance and so forth, which purport themselves to have aims which seek to further democratize our society. And I have to ask myself, how can we even hope to have a democratic society if we cannot ask difficult questions without fear of repercussions and social ostracization, shaming, and the like, being tarred and feathered merely for the questions one might ask about these topics. And I understand the precarious political situation that lots of minority groups, particularly now after this election, may be in, but none of these individuals are political symbols or pawns. They're individuals. So the notion, the idea that to even discuss, the many parts of their personal, struggles from a critical lens would somehow be tantamount to fascism or enabling fascism and the like. I think it's just nuts. These are individuals. They're not political symbols in your game. And so, I think any reason to transition is a valid reason. But ultimately, whether or not people should be doing it should be determined by primarily if it makes them happy. Maybe solely whether or not it makes them happy. They should use this to determine, whether or not they should, cease or continue or begin their transition. That's how I look at this. Is this materially, emotionally, spiritually improving your life? And only you can figure that out. So I really don't like the kind of distaste on the left for people who choose to experiment with their gender identity and then happen to go a different way. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, every person is an individual with their own unique reasons for why they do things and how they feel. And I'm not going to claim to know better than them about those issues. I can posit questions, I can suggest ideas, but at the end of the day, I can't claim to know better than them about who they are. Because who the hell am I? I'm just a guy. Contrary to what some people might believe about me. But I think that's getting off into inside baseball, way off in the weeds. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to more so, posit this idea that we should be more comfortable with ideas. And as cringe as that sounds, right? Like, I'm not trying to do the Joe Rogan, Sam Harris thing where I just jerk myself off by having conversations about having conversations, but you kind of inevitably have to do that to an extent. This will probably be the last time, at least hopefully. You have to do that to an extent because there is a genuine extent to which, you know, the discourse is being suppressed internally. Dissent is being suppressed internally in many of these left-wing groups when, especially in the wake of this election loss, which was not really the left's election loss as much as it was the liberals' election loss, but still it is bad for us too. It's bad for everybody. If you just live in America, and I mean, even I was going to say if you know anything about economics or policy, it's bad for you, but it's, I mean, even if you don't know about that stuff, it's like the policies are going to still affect you. It's still bad. So especially in the wake of this failure, this loss, it's like we need to be having the difficult conversations. We need to be talking about these things. And, you know, whether or not the strategy is effective, but not even in terms of strategy, just in terms of, like, being honest. The truth is more important than some political calculation. And the truth very well might be that there are, you know, people out there which you know, seek to exert social dominance through co-opting many of these left-wing spaces and pushing their own agenda, or just, you know, pushing themselves as a product in a kind of consumerist fashion, you know. But I'm rambling all over the place. I get sleepy at night. What can I say? I really need to go to bed, like, immediately after this. This is a rambling mess. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this because I don't know really if this made a lot of sense. But, yeah, basically at the end of the day, let people be who they are. Let them question whether or not that is who they are. And let's create a society that works for everybody, where people are able to be free to express themselves without fear of hatred or retribution, whatever that looks like. Let's recognize the fact that gender is a social construct, and that human beings should be allowed to experiment with their bodies, their presentation, as they please, in order to come to a better understanding of themselves and the world around them.